Next, we have a presentation from Samrat Bhattacharjee, Head of Research, Sustainable Automation Research, Siemens India OPC, and he'll be speaking on building industrial interoperability standard in cloud, AI, data spaces, and more. Please welcome him on the stage.
All good? Okay. Again, it feels really, really great to come back on this page. Last time, I was presenting about OPC interoperability, of course, and today also I will talk a little bit more in that area and also bring, a little bit how OPC is moving towards cloud and AI also. There are so much of AI in this room. I will not focus on much on AI. I think everybody is very supercharged on AI, right? So my presentation will be mostly, I will not go deep techniques. Yeah? I came here to just make you aware what OPC is doing. Yeah? What are the different standards they are bringing? What are the different working groups they are working on? So I would really encourage each and every one of you to go to OPC Foundation website and see what all different standards are coming, how they are really useful in applying all the use cases which we are discussing today. Yeah. Of course, thanks to my previous presenters who has made my life a little bit much more easier because most of the time I have seen OPC everywhere, right? I mean, that's wonderful. I have been using OPC for the last 20 years in my career, and it really feels great then when I see that people are really using OPC so much. But last 2 years, I also try to see like, okay, when I talk about, I personally work for Siemens, but I represent, OPC today over here. So when I talk like ABB or it could be Schneider, it could be Siemens, there, if you go, OPC is quite known, yeah? And it is being very well used. But last 2 years, from OPC Hub India, we are trying to understand what is the OPC understanding in the India layer, right? 45% of manufacturing output is coming from SMEs in India. And when we did all our, interviews with different SMEs and all, we see a big gap of understanding what interoperability makes, why interoperability is so very important and what OPC can bring for them. So there are different thoughts in that area. So to start with, I will just a slide which is very common to you. I mean, first, we all know, like OPC interoperability of OT, this is something which is quite known for a longer time. Yeah, OPC on the OT layer is quite common, be it in the process automation or be it in the energy sector or be it in the factory automation. OPC is everywhere and it is well established. Then comes OPC UA over MQTT. Now we have pulled all the data to the edge, right? And my previous speaker also was talking about edge, and we are pulling all the data to edge. Now how to move this to cloud? And can we also use OPC to move to cloud? Yes, OPC UA over MQTT is a standard now. I mean, it is a companion standards and it can be used. You can exactly move all your information model without any change to cloud by using OPC UA over MQTT. Then comes OPC, now I have moved to cloud. Now, respected speaker from Renault also talked about digital twin, right? I mean, now think of two digital twins, they need to talk to each other, right? In the metaverse world, they need to talk to each other. What is the protocol they should use, right? And there comes OPC over, there comes OPC, UA over REST interface, where OPC UA servers are now able to be accessed via REST interface, yeah? So it's the one harmonized solution for OT and IT, including rich modeling language. Last year, I was talking about how strong the modeling language of OPC is and how you can use it to model each and everything, almost each and everything covering the industry, right? It can be a complex data inheritance, everything is supported. Flexible transport you don't have to worry about. TCP, UDP, MQTT, even 5G and all these things are already covered. Yeah, so OPC works on all these mediums. File transfer, REST interface, and most important, security is inbuilt in OPC. Security is really inbuilt, and I am, as I told, I am a practical user of OPC. My research team uses OPC left and right, so we know how strong the OPC security module are already built in for accessing information, transport information, onboarding, infrastructure, certificate management, you name it. These are all covered. Yeah. Now, as I told you, I have been doing some research on the current Indian market and SMEs. And in this group, maybe you will see like, oh, come on, these are very fundamental why you are bringing all these things. But believe me, people still have a lot of perception about OPC. So with this forum, I wanted to bring those perception and try to bring this message again to a larger audience that what this perception is all about. OPC is just a last mile to physical assets. Yeah, this is a perception what people have, but I want to tell not only this, actually it supports, OPC a very powerful language, modeling language for digital twins, or you can say asset administration shell, digital product passport, battery passports, everything. OPC UA has the capability to model different use cases. Yeah. Next thing, as OPC has an extensive modeling language, yeah, or modeling options, it is very complex to implement. People say that, oh my God, I cannot spend so much of effort and energy into it. Yeah, but it is not so actually. Because of this comprehensive model you have, it doesn't mean that you have to implement everything. It depends only on the use case what you are implementing. It is very scalable, so you can implement what exactly required for that, yeah, for your use cases. And there are many modeling tools, either open source or commercial tools are available for modeling. You can just go to opcfoundation.org and then you can get a list of all the tools which are already available. Yeah, you can use it. Next, OPC is difficult to implement. Yeah, for beginning, sometime it looks like that, but good news is there are toolkits available. Just use this. And these toolkits actually give you very, very good start. This is very useful. And there are a lot of hackathons and the outputs are already available in the websites mentioned over here, and different YouTube videos are there. Next is OPC is too big and too powerful. Come on, for the small machinery use case, why do I need such a big thing? Come on. But what I want to say is, like, I just take the example of a Swiss knife, right? I mean, it can do so many things, but it doesn't mean that I have to use all these things at the same time. I can use only what is required. So if I have to implement some interoperability or accessibility inside a PLC, it doesn't mean that I need the whole thing. I don't need the REST interface probably, right? So you don't have to implement that. So implementing an OPC server is absolutely up to your use cases, and it can be just as simple, and then it can be scaled in the similar manner for the larger use cases. OPC is just a client server? No, it is not true. I mean, OPC is already a pub/sub possibility. It is a publish-subscribe mechanism, and it works on MQTT, and it has been, from 2016 onwards, it has been already demonstrated. It works on UDP and over MQTT, yeah. Oh, sorry. Last, but the most important, at least for the SMEs when I talked about, OPC is very expensive. Come on, why? I mean, it is a free tool. It is free of license. I mean, it is only the membership fee what people think of is only when you require advanced information about what happening in the OPC org. If you need more advanced information, as for example, what OPC doing with AI in the working group, I want to be part of the working group, then you need to be a member. Other than just implementing your server and all these things, you need not pay anything to OPC. It is absolutely free. all the specification, company and standards absolutely free to use. So these are general perceptions which we have learned by talking to different SME groups across India, and we felt that this is a good forum to bring all these things and trying to make it much clear. Now, from cloud to cloud, if I talk about, yes, as I already mentioned, OPC UA over MQTT is bringing the OPC from the IT layer to the OT layer. The technology OPC UA over MQTT, it supports JSON and binary encoding, so you don't have to change anything, right? You don't have to adapt, you don't have to make any gateway applications to move that, which is a great thing. And of course, it is an IEC standard, which is already published on that. Large ecosystem, right? OPC UA over MQTT is supported by 53 automation companies like Beckhoff, Schneider, of course, ABB also. It is not mentioned here, but I know that. Phoenix Contact, and of course, from the cloud vendors also. The hyperscalers are now understanding the importance of OPC and why the cloud modeling should be following the OPC, because if I have to make the digital twin to talk in the cloud, if I have to make the AIs to work, they have to follow some standard of communication. And what is the better standard than following the same standard which is followed on the shop floor, right? So the hyperscalers are already coming into the hyperscalers are already coming into it, and we are following up with that, right? And simple IT integration, right? Automatic encoding of OPC UA information models like pub sub JSON, as I already mentioned. Very cost effective because it is licenses free, openly available specs, and built-in security, which I already talked about. Next, now who is this in the OPC Foundation initiative? This is a new initiative which is not new now, it is almost 5 years or more towards this, and a new working group, I would say, which is already supported by almost all renowned cloud providers. And we have noted down one comment from L'Oreal Operations, where they say that we definitely support that. So this is one of the process industry which is bringing this information. Similarly, for the discrete industry, energy industry, and other industries are also, eager to join this group and utilize the facilities which is going to be provided by this OPC Foundation Cloud Initiative. Now, what it is that they are doing? Here, OPC Foundation is talking about cloud reference architecture, which generally will bring the standardization for data sharing. And of course, OPC has a huge, best practices from the factories or from the industry at a longer time. So they would like to bring all these things together. They would like to bring the OPC companion standards together and making the information model, like the digital twin applications, industrial metaverse, AI and data analytics. All these will be served through this cloud reference architecture. So when you are building your information architecture on the cloud, so you can probably look at the, this OPC cloud initiative or the cloud working groups output and try to see how you can better model your information, which can be consumed by all other applications mentioned here. How? Yes, we are trying to create a pre-competitive environment. What does it mean? Means like you bring all the users and then try to see how they can collaborate. This all OPC Foundation mostly work with collaboration with different industry players, and we replicate the best practices, of course, which is established in the OPC field level communication initiatives, and trying to apply them at the cloud level. Yeah, so where digital twins works or the AI agent works together, right? Of course, there are multiple other working groups in the similar area, and the idea is to harmonize all these groups under a single steering committee. There is a OPC cloud library, which is queryable online store of OPC information models. There is OPC UA over MQTT, which we have talked about. OPC UA over REST, we have talked about. Connectivity, wave of things. Industrial metaverse, and OPC UA AI. These are all different working groups producing documents and references, I would say reference document for particular for your usage. Next thing is I'm talking about a new group called OPC UA for AI, where OPC UA is also trying to see how can OPC UA present information in a format that AI models can seamlessly utilize. Yeah, so now we talk about AI and all, right? My colleague Vikas also was talking about Copilot, but in the back end of the Copilot, because I am part of that part also, because I am from Siemens, I work for that Copilot, I implement that Copilot. In the back end of Copilot, OPC UA is in the thing. The information what Copilot is making is actually OPC UA information at this moment. And this is enabling interoperability between agent to agent, machine to human, right? So these are all the possibilities. See, all AI can work, AI training can work, but if it is not trained properly, if the information is not modeled properly, what we can get is hallucination, right? And garbage in, garbage out. That's what the training talks about, right? If you cannot train your agents or the co-pilots in the right manner, you cannot rely on this. And that's where comes the importance of information modeling. The more structured your information is, more interoperable your information is, more efficient your agents and more efficient your AI. So interoperability, information modeling, and interoperability is the key to this AI success. And that is what OPC believes. And that's why OPC UA Foundation is moving towards supporting the, AI. Yes, of course, we are focusing on data analytics and retrieval, right? We are talking about domain-specific documentation, like I just talked about, like if the automation components what are lying around, there are thousands of automation components, and if this information, what is required for them to train the AI is not a way AI can understand, it is not possible. And we need proper documentation, standardized documentation to express those machines. What is a CNC machine, how it works and all. So if that information modeling is not clear, then AI cannot deal with it, the huge load of information. And that comes the OPC UA companion specification. The companion specification talks about 150 plus, companion specification there to cover the whole, almost whole, I would say, different set of machineries, different set of use cases, be it pharma, be it process industry, be it petroleum industry, be it anything, there are companion standards already available. And think about a situation when these companion standards are learned by your AI agents, they already know how to talk to the machines, what we are talking about. So this companion standards actually puts OPC UA very forefront to really structure the data for any type of machinery, any type of process you are talking about for our shop floor and the industry level, right? And of course, the next gen UI, right? Now AI-enabled voice, you can, in future, you will be able to talk to the machineries, which, my colleague already shown, right? And that is something which OPC UA is also eyeing for and trying to support, how we can achieve those visionaries and how we can move it forward to have a great, I would say, great industry sector for the humankind, right? So I think that's where I am. But with that, I would like to also introduce you about the OPC Hub India team. This is my colleagues from different places. I mean, we are a group of people who is facilitating OPC UA adoption in India. We are a non-profit organization, and we support our local SMEs and all to get more support towards understanding of OPC, implementation of OPC, getting support for their day in, day out problems, and we try to support them. Yeah, this is our group. So it is hosted by Siemens, Fraunhofer, VDMA, and Utunga. I have a 1-minute video. Yeah, these are few events what we are doing across India in last 12 months. And thanks a lot for this opportunity. Yeah.